morning, everyone.
Good morning.
All you folks out on Zoom land, good morning. It's Miracle Center for Spiritual Living at 2653 South Taylor Road in Cleveland Heights, Ohio. We welcome you to our service this Sunday. We will start, our prelude was, instead of just Gilbert Zachary, was the choir was warming up everyone out there. Did you hear us? Well, we will start with our invocation. So if you would, put your feet flat on the floor. Take a nice cleansing breath. Infinite Spirit, in whom we live, move, and have our being, we acknowledge the presence and power of God and know that this presence and power is right here in Miracle Center for Spiritual Living this Sunday. And we are one. Each and every person that is participating in this ceremony this morning. The choir, our musician, our Zoom technician, I myself, H. Jerry Lawson, religious science practitioner. And most of all, bringing us our lesson will be Reverend June Clark. We know that we are blessed. This entire service is blessed. And from God's mouth to our ears, to your mouth, to our ears, or however I mix that up, you know what I mean. And we just let it be. And so it is, and so I let it be. Amen. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning. Art dimension. Inner individual. Hold on 1 second. Glasses. Necessary. Contemplative question. Here I am being invited to stretch beyond self-judgment into deeper self-acceptance. The edge is not a limit, it's a doorway. This week we journey inward to the threshold of transformation, where we ask, where am I being invited to stretch beyond self-judgment into deeper self-acceptance? Let's courageously explore the edges of our inner world, welcoming discomfort into the birthplace of growth. Affirmation. I meet my inner edge with courage, curiosity, for sure, and compassion. Science mind point of view, Howard Thurman. Black history point of view. The standards of the human race are always in a state of flux, changing from generation to generation, from day to day, and from individual to individual. But the standard of spirit is ageless, changeless, unvarying. It is perfection, nothing less. When the level of the individual's thinking is divorced from that of the world and raised to that of the spirit, this standard changes from that of imperfection to perfection. And this is the true norm. Regardless of his present experience, man has access to perfection for the minutest detail of his life. Spirit could not possibly have any idea which is less than perfection. Anything less than this implies an imperfect spirit, or something opposed to God which cannot be. Spirit knows only the perfect and knows nothing of the imperfect. Every step of the great creative activity of spirit has been characterized by perfection. The tiniest organism adheres to a perfect pattern and functions according to a perfect law. Jesse Jennings, ed. The Essential, Ernest Holmes, page 42. And now we have a song brought to you by the Miracle Center Choir.
This is you.
This is you. So
program says what the world needs now is love. But we're not going to sing that one right now. We're going to sing This Is You, but it's still a song about love. We're in the month of February, and February is a month of love, and so many other things happen during this month. But I want you to consider the words of this, just how wonderful and how marvelous. Love is a gift, so let's all receive love.
When negatives are happening, when everything seems wrong, remember that your attitude's the key. Deliberately then bring to mind the thoughts of harmony. It will reflect into your life, you'll see. So let the infinite love shine through. This is you, yes, it's really you. Believe God's life is the heart of you. Wait no longer to know that it's true. How marvelous, how wonderful the universe of love has manifested here in you and me. The peace of God is not far off, it nestles in our hearts. So let's discover God within us all. This is the way to peace among the nations of the earth. So let's discover God within us all. So let the infinite love shine through. This is you, yes, it's really you. Believe God's life is a heart of you. Wait no longer to know that it's true. So let the infinite love shine through. This is you, yes, it's really you. Believe God's life is the heart of you. Wait no longer to know that it's true. How marvelous, how wonderful the universe of love has manifested here in you and me.
Well, good morning.
Good morning.
We're just doing a little adjustment here. How is everyone? Okay, I got a few responses, so I'm going to need some help adjusting my
Yeah, he's got it.
throne here. Okay, thank you, Chris. Do I need the mic closer, Jerry? I can
Yes.
just bring it over.
Got you covered.
Well, this morning is beautiful. I mean, compared to last week, excuse me, my son is here visiting from California, and Southern California at that. And the last time he came, I kind of was a little worried about him because his jacket was not very thick, you know, and all that. This year, he came with a big old jacket. So it's good to have him here, and the rest of my family will be here periodically, so you get to meet them too. So, hey, Gerard, good morning. So here we go. This is somewhat of an experiment that has grown into what I want to do for the month. So it's not quite as focused as how it's going to be. I decided that I wanted our Black History Month to be dedicated to one person. And the person that I chose is Howard Thurman. And I'll read you some of his honors here. At the time of his death in 1981, Howard Thurman was Dean Emeritus of Marsh Chapel, Boston University, and Chairman of the Board of Trustees of Howard University. Howard Chapel at Howard University, Washington, D.C. So he is one of the most interesting to me philosophers on religion, on life, on beinghood. And I'm going to start with this book, The Inward Journey, because he has written several, and I find this one to be very interesting and also comparative to Science of Mind. So if you're interested in Howard Thurman, might do something with him a little bit later in the month. So here we go this morning. So living on the inner edge. This month, Science of Mind is focused on people who have written the messages for the whole year, and so they're using this themes of inner edge, outer edge, living on the edge, doing something else on the edge. So it's going to be pretty good for February, some different focuses. So living on the inner edge is about meeting the tension between who we think, it's interesting, who we think we are and who we really are. And we were going to sing a different song that's listed in the bulletin, and then we got hold of this song just by chatting and remembering that we had sung it before. And this is what I feel that song fits perfectly, because how wonderful, how marvelous we are. But do we often forget? So as we start off, living on the inner edge is about meeting the tensions between who we think we are and who we really are. So as the month goes on, maybe by the end of the month, this is the Valentine month, this is the love month, this is how we focus on ourselves month. Maybe we will know who we are, how we are, what we are, and what we're doing. So let's go on. Thurman, describes how fiercely we cling to our private sense of self, even as life invites us to step beyond it. We're of a certain age. We don't even have to use numbers as far as I'm concerned. I've gotten that far in life that I don't use numbers anymore, or I switch them, whichever seems to sound the best. So That's the inner edge that we deal with, the boundary between the familiar and the unknown often feels uncomfortable because it challenges our self-judgments and the small stories we tell about ourselves, not necessarily to ourselves, but to others through the actions that we seem to feel real comfortable about. We repeat often. There are judgments that we know are there, but we know we don't face. We know we don't allow them to come up kind of sort of like up to the top. And if they come up to the top of who we think they are and they really don't fit, then we suppress our own selves and we don't like how that feels, or we think somebody else doesn't like us because of what we think about that. Does that make sense to you? Yes, I know it does. I know it does. Because we all do it. We all have a pattern that started when we're born. We have a pattern of when, and it starts with, I want to eat, I want to get changed, I want to turn over on my stomach. I mean, just literally in the mind. It starts in the mind. And it's been a while since Gerard's been a baby, but I remember having 4 babies at home, that each one had their own synchronicity of when they wanted what they wanted. And I'm the one in the middle that is clinging to my private personhood. And now that I have it, after moving away from California, and then when my family comes, when my children comes, I realize how much of who I think I am or who I think I was is sometimes very similar, tied to the connections of the past. I'm not saying they're right, they're wrong. It's, what's the line say? Tension between who we think we are and who we really are. And I do believe, at least the people that I hang around with are mostly religious scientists, so I feel this energy of connection, this attitude of comfort, this attitude of being myself, my perfect private self, and my perfect outward self, and my perfect inward self, and this edge that they talk about, this combination of all these senses. I feel, should I say, all grown up? Every once in a while you do something and you get through it to the other side. Now this is me, and I feel like maybe when I was, well, I didn't start driving till I was in California, so it was late. So, but when I started driving, I didn't drive as a teen except for driver's ed, because I didn't need to. There's enough buses, all that kind of stuff in my environment. But when I learned to drive by myself, I felt so excited, so grown up. And I was grown up because of the numbers, but I didn't feel grown up as an individual, the inner self, the inner core. So that's what we're talking about here. We're talking about the boundaries between the familiar and the unknown. And it's interesting to say the unknown. So how can you feel badly about the unknown? Because if it's the unknown, you don't know what it is yet. But maybe that's the problem. We don't sense, we don't know, and we don't trust that however we have started, whatever our destiny is, whatever we're working on, that's our perfect self, no matter how the numbers look. It's our perfect self, and we begin that journey, and quite often we put it down sometime. We put the people down who were included in that journey. And none of that matters because it's us. How marvelous, how wonderful the universal love, which is who we are. But sometimes we mess it up by forgetting how wonderful and awesome we are. Ernest Holmes reminds us that while human standards shift and falter, that's us, all through this kicking and screaming, laughing and crying, no matter who else is around, whoever else agrees, whether you're the only one that makes a choice, which we are. Science of Mind teaches us that our true nature is perfection. And I don't know about you, but when I do something that I feel is perfection, I still feel like I've grown up. I'm a new person. And whatever I was looking at or how I was acting within the current world, the current space of others, sometimes is oneself worst enemy. Because their world is perfect. And a lot of people, in order to make your world perfect, they think that you need to be who they are. But I don't associate with those kinds of people. Not that they're not wonderful people, because obviously they have a wonderful life they live. But the people that I associate myself, maybe I'm saying it all backwards, but they have to be as wonderful as I am. You know, I just can't deal with it. I'm too old. I'm too well experienced. I'm too perfect to be bothered with it, the it out there. So remember, Science of Mind teaches us that our true nature is perfect. Science of Mind teaches us that our true nature is already whole, already perfect, even if we don't fully believe it yet. Yet. We got a long way to go. And no matter how much I switch the numbers around, I still got a long way to go. And I'm going to enjoy it. To live on the inner edge is to allow that perfection to seep through the cracks. If you can imagine, just seeping into your body and flowing with this system that we have been built with, that it flows everywhere throughout our body. And that perfection moves through every inch of our body. And if there's a crick somewhere, not a crick because a crick moves, if there's a boulder somewhere, I seem to find I have a lot of boulders. If there's a boulder somewhere, that this inner sense of being perfect just kind of weaves itself through our whole self. And we stop picking ourselves apart because of someone else. Isn't that silly? Because of someone else, we are dividing our divinity into. Tay called me the other day, and she said, Reverend June, I just love that no thing that you said. Nothing. It means nothing. I said, I know, Tay. And she might be on Zoom going, you know how she does. Yes, yes. But that's the truth. Why do we allow something or someone else to erase all the work that we do. At least I know I do a lot of work on self without anybody else's interference. But I also know that with everyone else that I associate with, they are marvelous, they're wonderful, they're universal love, as they feel it within themselves and they feel it within me, and I reciprocate and feel the same way. So if you're having any issues about anything, check it out and see if it's yours to do, yours to change, yours to investigate, yours to enjoy. And if it is not, just gracefully let it go. Let it be. Let it be what it is to you. It doesn't have to evolve around people. It can evolve around what you decide to eat. If you're not supposed to eat sugar, Reverend June, stop putting so much of that fake sugar and stuff, whatever it is, to make it sweeter. It's produced to be sweet. I personally have a thing about sweeter with certain things. So it doesn't have to be a big issue. And if you don't have an issue about something, please let me know, because I want to know how you do it. I don't have all the answers yet. And I know you don't, but you might have an answer that I need. Does that make sense to y'all?
Yes.
No?
Yes.
No?
Yes.
A little murmur. Yes? No? Okay, thank you. To live on the inner edge is to allow that perfection to seep into the cracks. That's what I just said. Of our self-perception, softening judgment and expanding acceptance. Acceptance is so awesome. So awesome. And it's about the minuscule things in life. It's about, like I say, liking things to be sweet. When they are produced for people that like things to be sweet, they are sweet. But when I am not an accepting, already perfect taste, I make it sweeter. And it's not good for my health. And I know that. So what do? I have to soften my judgment, expand my acceptance of this sweet, which is manufactured, rather than this sweet, which is enhanced. It's enhanced, it's true. Makes it taste better to the mind, but it's bad on the body. So if you have any situation like that is going on in your life, don't sweeten it up with fake stuff. Don't look at it from a point of view that makes you think you're doing better, makes you think it tastes better this way and it's okay, because it's not. Use your marvelous, wonderful, loving self to maintain what is good and what is perfect for you. It is to release our grip on private possession of our life and open to a greater identity, one that sees ourselves as Spirit sees us. You don't think that God sees you as perfect and wonderful and accepting and divine and beautiful and awesome and wealthy and perfect health and a good thinker and a good this and a good that and a perfect this and a perfect that, because you're kind of chipping away at your true self. Your true self is perfection. Your true self is beauty. Your true self is love. Your true self is all the magnificence that God is. And that's what we are. So, moving along here. Sometimes, I want to go back to the edge. We all have an inner edge, the point where our self-perception meets the deeper truth of who we are. If it takes you 15 years to realize it, you'll have it forever. If it takes you 35, you'll have it forever. If you got it at 10, you'll have it forever. If you were a baby that is a baby genius and you got it when you first cried out, you'll never have that angst again. You won't have the junk unless you bring it back up. That if you live 25 years, if you live 10 years, if you live 50 years, if you live 80 years, if you live 70 years, if you live however the length of your life, if you don't bring back the junk, it's not going to be in your life. If it is in your life, we got plenty of time to look at ourselves, to examine who we really are, and accept that you are God expressing. No thing except, nothing except God expressing as peace, as prosperity, as love, as joy, as harmony. All the goodness of God. And when we see and when we hear examples of those who would like us to be more like them, and we don't hang around with them, for one thing, they live a little farther away. They live in Florida maybe, or maybe they live in Washington, D.C. I'm not sure where they all are. But they don't drive the personality and the truth of us. And as we express ourselves through our perfection, it's okay. My mother used to say, don't be conceited. I don't know if your folks use that word. Don't look in the mirror so much. That's being, I forget the word she used to use, but she didn't like it that I observed myself too often in the mirror. It's like, who do you think you are? Or, I don't know. I need not go over my childhood with you. But think about times that even people that you do associate with, like parents, if your parents are still with you, I bless them. But if you have someone that is not a true spokesperson for who you are, it's okay, because you're strong enough to know what your inner edge really is. Again, back to the song, how wonderful, how marvelous, what a universal love you are. And that feels so good. And you give it away. And when you give it away, it taps somebody else. They don't know it, but they're getting something from you, and they're shifting the way they perceive the world to be. It's awfully quiet in here. When we align our thinking with spirit, we begin to dissolve the harsh, shifting standards of the race, R-A-C-E, of the allness, the allness of God. Whatever happens in this universal allness is called the race. And the race that is negative is not of God. It is not the truth. The perfection that we are, that we express, that we interact with, that's God expressing, and that's us. And I do remember not understanding that when I first started in religious science. Today, there are many things that I don't understand, not just about others, but about myself. But there's the expression, God ain't through with me yet. And it's okay. whatever I know at this point, whatever I respect within myself, whatever I live through and give away from myself to others, and others that give to me that I accept as perfection within me. Woo! So much good, so much happiness, so much pure giving and receiving. My life is so good. And that's a perfect segue into last week, which was my birthday on the 28th. I knew one would come up that I could say thank you comfortably without disturbing the lesson to those of you that sent cards, that called, that smiled, that thought about me, that ate with me, that came to see me from a long way. And we go back a long way. We go back. This is my oldest child. We go back a long way. And so my birthday was full of people who tried to eat the food I liked. They didn't like it, so they ate something else. So Gerard and they had gotten the food, and they're, he has the, what do you call that, where you call up people and you order and they come bring to your house. I don't do that. But anyway, so we had these, oblong boxes with different kinds of food in it. And since everybody was serving themselves and living their highest and their best, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I think, white oblong boxes, because one person exercised the love of themselves and they got something else. So we had to eat what they didn't want. Now, one would say, well, why didn't they just eat it? Well, did we complain? No, because we liked the other food and it wasn't going to go to waste, so we ate it. So see how simple life is? It's just doing, all these songs start coming up in my head, doing what you choose that makes you happy. And life is happy. It's perfection. Together we can learn to hold failing, but as an invitation. So I don't like, since we were talking about food, I don't like peas. I don't like lima beans, which my mother made me eat. That was one of our things we didn't agree on. But I still got time. I still pick the peas out of the pot pie. Maybe one Sunday I'll come in talking about I ate some peas in the pot pie, and those of you that are here, you'll say, oh, she's grown. She's grown up. She eats her peas. She eats her lima beans. That's what life is. It's fun. It's fun. So let me find out where I was here. Together we can learn to hold curiosity, but as an invitation. And if you don't like it, don't do it. Don't buy it. Don't act like you like it because somebody else likes it. Do what you do that satisfies you, because it's not going to harm anybody else. That's the key. We do not harm anyone else. So spirit knows only perfection. That's why. Because if you do what you do, they do what they do, we got two perfect worlds going on here. This isn't a call to pretend we're flawless. I quite often think that I'm flawless. I like to be the queen. I like to pretend that I have minions around me to do as the queen wishes. And then when they don't do it, see, I am enough to understand that they are not I, because I am queen. And I just move on to something else. Why worry about stuff? How marvelous, how wonderful the universal love. It's in you and me. It's in you and me. So I've got a few words here by Howard Thurman that lend themselves to the attitude of Ernest Holmes. Further on in the month, I'm going to use more of his essays and use the whole essay so that I can compare more of Holmes and Howard Thurman. So Thurman's words show us the cycle of expansion and return. We stretch into something beyond ourselves, then scramble back to the familiar. How often do you try something new and scramble back to what used to be? And that's okay. Just don't let it become too big. Anything. Don't let anything become too big that you feel you cannot shift it. You cannot shave it down a little bit. You cannot roll it out of the way. You cannot pray enough in order for it to shift itself. Because the praying is you, the shifting is your intention. And again, knowing that we are only one thing, and that is God expressing, so therefore God is all there is, and you know that God changes things, and it's and everything. It's all God. There's only one thing going on here. So, Thurman says, show us the cycle of expansion and return. We stretch into something beyond ourselves, then scramble back to the familiar. And that's okay, because you might continue to work at what you are trying to achieve, and scrambling back tends to sound like you're kind of pitiful that you're running back to something. But I can't think of anything that I embrace that I can either totally give it up, or if I can't totally give it up, I'm still working on it, like the sweet and low that I put in my tea that's sitting on my desk that I made before I left home. It's already sweet. It's already sweet, but I had to just do one little envelope. Usually it's 2 envelopes, and it might be 3, but I got it down to 1 this morning. See, I'm scrambling back, but I'm scrambling slow. But I probably will have more sweet and low in my tea. I'm sure I will. So life goes on. So Howard Thurman also says, living on the inner edge means being willing to stay in that in-between space a little longer. I'll be with the sweet and low a little longer, and I'm safe. Trusting that the walls that once kept us safe may now be the very walls keeping us small. I thought that was very, very interesting. The walls that once kept us safe may now be the very walls keeping us small. Looking at the perspective that I talked about, looking at my health. Trusting that the walls that once kept us safe, okay? Trusting that whatever I do about that simple thing about the tea, if I stopped using even the 1 envelope of sweet and low, I'm going to be better off. Now be the very walls that keep us small. And to me, that doesn't mean that we're not worthy, that we don't understand what we're doing. It's one of those things that will make me feel grown up. It will be big. It will be a big incident the first time I do it, that I put my hand on that envelope of fake sugar and I put it back in the container, I'll feel grown up again. I'll feel like, I won't feel small. So the word small is important because it depends on how you depict inside yourself about what you do with what you're satisfied with and why did I do it? I'm really sad that I did that. No. Be joyful about your choices. Move on. Expect yourself to do the very best that you can, because you always will, because your God is expressing, and that's what you will move into, and you will grow within yourself. And that's just I've never written a book. May not. But just contemplate someone else's words sometime. And that's their thought. Remember, even Science of Mind, and I didn't bring my book over today, but in Science of Mind, Ernest Holmes, in his lifetime, his lifespan, he went all the way back to the Greek philosophy, the African-American, not African-American, but the African countries, the African philosophy, the Greek philosophy. He wasn't that old, obviously, but he read and he learned. Howard Thurman was in the same age grouping. So they were philosophers, they were thinkers, they were looker-aheaders, if that's a word. They were looking at their own life, and that's what these words are about. They're about what Holmes thought in his growing up, like I said, to feel grown up. Howard Thurman was a doctor, was a Howard University instructor of other younger people. He was a black historian. That's why I chose him to add to our Black History Month instead of skipping all around the same stories that we have heard over and over again for many years. There are many, many, many honorable, truthful, expressive people that have written and made movies and songs, and other races also, that change this world when we are strong enough to look at a different opinion. Doesn't mean you have to agree with it, but after seeing it, it shifts you. It shifts you because you've exposed yourself to it. And you can't say, you can't say you didn't understand it, because there's so much that I don't understand. I know there's stuff I don't understand. I know. Ask me about working a computer. I probably ought to be back in kindergarten. Stop it, Jerry. I hear you over there. That's my savior when it comes to the computer. But you hear what I'm saying is expand yourself. Expand yourself. So I didn't get too much Howard Thurman. Let me see if I got him. Oh yeah, I got him on maybe on this page. Let's see. Oh, he has another book here. Okay, I have some more Howard Thurman for you. First, I'm going to read you about Science of Mind. There is that within every individual which partakes of the nature of the universal wholeness, means they think about God. And insofar as it operates, is God. There is that within us which partakes of the nature of the divine being. Same thing, God is the divine being. And since it partakes of the nature of the divine being, we are divine. And that's on page 34 in the Science of Mind textbook. The possibilities of the law are infinite, and our possibilities of using it are limited. Page 271, Science of Mind. two simple statements. Why don't we step out and become something just a little bit different? And then as that is part of our nature, we'll be so excited that we have expanded ourselves that you'll do something else. You'll think about something else. You'll do something else different. You'll say, I'm all grown up. I don't care what it is. I remember the first time I did drive, and I drove because my sister was in the hospital and my mother was coming out to California. Pushed me. I got my license in 2 days. I just relied on other people driving all the time. Buses, you know, all that stuff. Oh yeah, I don't have to do it. Somebody else will pick me up. I had an emergency. I did it. Been driving ever since. So sometimes it's big stuff that pushes you. Sometimes it's simply something very small and simple. So from Howard Thurman, and then we will sing our second song. And this second song is our choir director, Lisa, has learned to love this song. And we are building our repertoire. That's when we get grown up. We get more songs to sing for you. But this Sunday it's going to be Use Me after I finish this. We have externalized our lives so to such an extent that more and more and only real, we should think of our lives as an increasing awareness, an ever-growing and expanding consciousness, a never-ceasing process of individual and collective evolution. That is from Science of Mind. From Howard Thurman, things seem to be what we can touch, see, hear, taste, and smell. As long as we are dwelling within objects at the level of the senses, we think that we are on ground that is safe and therefore certain. What is forgotten is the fact that life moves at a deeper level than the objective and the data of our senses. Isn't that wonderful? What if you were locked into 7th grade, and I said that out loud, and I'm going to correct myself or add to myself right now. There are persons who are locked in at any age that you want to imagine, because we're not locked into that age, but they know how to live within that age, and they are very, very strong, they are very purposeful, and they too are perfect. We are most alive when we are brought face to face with the response of the deepest things in us to the deepest thing in life. And that's from Howard Thurman, page 19, in The Inward Journey. So is Lisa here?
I'm here.
Ah, yeah, there she is. So we'll do our Use Me song, and think about this as what can you do? What can you improve in your life? We know what we've already done to kind of not do so hot at life. Let's think of what we can do to be so special that we enhance our lives. And using ourselves as God's wonderful, wonderful source, then we can move ahead. So, artist is on his way and I'm on my way.
So
That was my solo as my chest gets rid of all the, whatever junk they put you to sleep with when you have surgery. And before, when I would open my mouth, nothing would come out. So thank you for helping me grow up. Jerry, come on up. Life is good.
So good.
All right, let's hear it for the choir. Let's give it to them one more time. All that hard work.
Yes, yes.
Getting to
And-
really
and-
shine through. I like
Not without
the harmony.
Lisa and Gilbert.
Pardon me?
Lisa and Gilbert.
Lisa Gilbert,
Yes.
actor, pianist. Scott Fitzgerald. Okay, let's do the benediction. And then we'll be taking up the collection also. And then once the collection is done, we'll finish off the announcements, and that will be it for today. So if you would, just put your feet flat on the floor and just take a nice cleansing breath. Mother, Father God, we just give thanks for this time that we have been together. We give thanks for Reverend June, who's given us a wonderful message this morning. We give thanks for the choir for giving us the wonderful songs that they've given us this morning. Beautiful pianist, our Zoom technician, our ushers, our greeters, and even for the little snack that's prepared for us across the hall. We just give thanks for all that has been happening here in this Miracle Center for Spiritual Living, and know that we are blessed. And if you are in agreement with me, you can say with me,
And
so it is.
Amen.
Amen. Okay, we only have a few announcements. Remember our members and friends in prayer. We have a few people that have been missing here lately. Chair exercise classes canceled until mid-March. Richard Living Bookstore is open immediately after Sunday service. And we have a few cookbooks left from the cookbook sale from last year, the year before, $5 a piece. And practitioners are available for personal prayer and assistance after service Sunday mornings. Prayer request forms are on the backs of chairs in the sanctuary, and you may also email your request. Miracle MCSL Cleveland at gmail.com, which is at the bottom of the statement here, since Fran is a little ailing here. Just email it to the church email address, and we will take care of them. And I believe that's all of the announcements for today. I don't know about you, but I've had a wonderful day of prayer today, a wonderful message, wonderful music, and we just give thanks. And so it is. We do the peace song now, so circle up, and we'll go across the hall and taste a little bit of
Giving
cake or
thanks for
whatever.
these tithes, these offerings, which